Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. Desiree Dotson, thank you so much for being here. All right, let's get on with it, shall we? Okay, a royal nightmare. I tell you, things are just moving so fast, it makes me head spin. It really does. Let's see here. Ah, Andrew, you're a sick old man. Disgusting. That's our Andrew, a sick old man and quite disgusting. Say, Sean, did you see the short video I made about that? About the Andrew Close, which I do believe means a path. But yeah, that one was fun. Okay. Although I don't have it handy, but okay. Let's get on with it, shall we? Okay. So Prince Harry comforts mom as she recalls telling 5-year-old son about dad's death in new video. So I believe it's only a teaser video. I don't believe the entire video is available at this time. So I did put it on the community tab. So if you go to the community tab, you have probably seen it. Hey, Susie Q. Legs wants to say hi to a few people. And Lydia wants to say hi to a few people. All right. Well, in the meantime, um, there is also an article in the People magazine. So until they make the entire video available to us, just briefly, it says Prince Harry is showing support for a charity dedicated to helping bereaved military children before an important event in the UK. Um, oh, yeah. Okay. So, Scotty's Little Soldiers released a new video in June. I'm sorry, on June 26th of Prince Harry's sit down with Nikki Scott, the charity's founder, ahead of Armed Forces Day in the UK. The event is commemorated annually in the UK on the last Saturday of in June as an opportunity to support the military community from active personnel to veterans, cadets, and service families. Scotty's Little Soldiers unveiled the emotional conversation between Harry and Scott about the moment she told her son that her husband, Corporal Lee Scott, was killed in Afghanistan to highlight the needs of bereaved military children. Sitting across from the Duke of Sussex for From Grief to Growth, that's the name of it, From Grief to Growth, Scott recalls the harrowing day in July 2009 when she learned of her husband's death. At the time, their son Kai was 5 and their daughter Brooke was 7 months old. Wow, that had to have been horrible. Um, but yeah, so that is what the article is about, and of course the video. That, and again, I don't think they released the entire video. Maybe they're going to do that for the what was the name of it? Armed Forces Day. Maybe they're going to release it for Armed Forces Day. So I hope so. But anyway, I hope we all get a chance to see it soon. It was the worst. How do you tell a 5-year-old? Scott recounted to Prince Harry, because I literally just shattered his world. He knew that life was never going to be the same, she explained, wiping a tear. So, yes, again, that is in People magazine. If you like to see the entire article, or I'll probably do a little short video from the article, so you could wait for that. But if not, You can always go to people, and I don't think you have to get a paid subscription just to read the article. I don't think. I'm not sure. Susie Q, 26 months membership. Tomorrow is my son's graduation. So proud of him. As well, you should be. As well, you should be. Absolutely. Congratulations, Mom. Congratulations to you and your family. I think anytime a kid graduates, it is a celebration for the entire household. And of course, congratulations is due for the entire family, especially for parents. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. Yeah, Barbara Richardson. I think that their tactics have backfired in the most epic manner. It just goes to show that the ancestors have been definitely orchestrating some things to protect our faves. Absolutely, protect our faves. Oh, that's what I just shared with you right there. And here's some photos from their meeting. Uh, oh, I love these photos. I love that. It just goes to show when you put forth an effort, you never know what the fruits of your labor will be. Not only has this lady managed to honor her husband and find a way to uplift and support families. But I'm pretty sure in the beginning she didn't realize that the most popular royal of them all would be considered a friend. And of course, when the Sussexes left, when they stepped back from official royal duty, Harry remained close with Scotty's little soldiers. So that is really cool. Not everyone was willing to let the Sussexes go. Their connection to, or should I say, their patronages and connections with some of these charities and organizations remain strong. So, as well as should be, you know. Hi, Carlene Beckford. Thank you so much for being here. And here's another image. Anytime you see that purple marble, you know that is high end material right there. Beautiful room. That is a stunning room. Ah, love it, love it, love it. Okay. And now, you guys, I don't want to cause you a spot of bother, but I have to share this with you. It has been making the rounds. Hijacking the images of Harry and Meghan, hijacking their, shall we say, Kodak moments, some of those finer moments of the Sussexes, the most iconic images, hijacking those seems to be a full time job of Kensington Palace. But did you know that there's another royal who's trying to do the same thing? And I could not help but notice that the credit for this photo goes to Chris Jackson, who I thought was kind of, I thought there was like a vibe with the Sussexes. Now, I am reasonably certain that someone orchestrated this. This is not spontaneous. This is spontaneous, as the Duchess of Sussex is standing. This is contrived and orchestrated. Yes, those leathery palms of hers um, facing the camera that was no accident. The dais that she's elevated upon, this throne like pose. And also, I'm just going to say it, I don't see that many children of color in this tapestry of humanity that she's using as usual. Yeah, using the children. Hi, cookies and cream. I know, Amber Rowan, it is gross. It is gross. Yet another image, another iconic image of the Sussexes has been, well, the least there has been an attempt to hijack the Sussexes moments. So I tell you, they cannot be trusted. That either one of those royal households, whether it's Clarence House or Buckingham Palace, whichever they're using, or Kensington Palace, they cannot be trusted. They're shady. Lex says, "Wow, optics. Um, Walding kids of color in the back." Yes, I did notice. And by the way, thank you for the super chat. I did notice that. Oh wait, where is it? I did notice that they, um, as they say in France, they put the children of color on the peripherique, on the peripheral, the perimeter, the outer, limits. Couldn't help but notice that. Very interesting. Very interesting. It's like night and day, but certainly not an accident. I believe it was quite deliberate. And again, you can tell the fact that she's elevated in this image that this was totally orchestrated. Okay. Now, what say you about this situation? It turns out, and this is so odd, again, this seems like another attempt to, I'm just going to say, I guess, mimic the Sussexes. I don't know if I should say mimic because it seems weird to say that, seeing that William has a completely different path from Harry's, right? William's path is to sit on the throne and do nothing, which is pretty much what he's always done, a bunch of nothing. He's very lazy. He doesn't like to work. He likes a lot of attention. He's willing to declare himself a global statesman, a world leader, and all that kind of stuff. He doesn't wait for people to say those things to him. It's whatever he feels in the moment. Very Trump like, right? So, Prince Louis and Princess Charlotte, Prince William's two younger children, are to be encouraged to not become working royals. Under radical plans to reshape the British monarchy when William and Princess Catherine, Princess Kate, ascend the throne following disastrous impact on the family of Prince Harry's vitriolic exit from royal life. Now, of course, this is the Daily Beast, and this is a Tom Sykes article. Tom Sykes, who is very anti-Sussex. Um, Disastrous impact on the family of Prince Harry's vitriolic exit from the royal life. The thing is, if there wasn't so much toxicity directed toward the Sussexes, they wouldn't have had to leave in the first place. But when you are briefing, planting stories, when you send one of your henchmen to try to deliberately destroy our Princess Meghan's case against the Daily Mail, the vitriol is actually coming from inside the house. right? It is coming from inside Kensington Palace. We have it on good authority, thanks to one of the possible alleged co conspirators. Dan Wooten launches a tirade against the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. It's so much easier for them to blame anything uncomfortable on racism rather than address the fact that the negativity toward them is coming from inside the royal family. As he says with that rather sinister voice, the calls are coming from inside the house. And isn't it interesting how the Daily Beast manages to take the aggressive, nasty, negative um, situations that were created by the palace? The palace were actively abusing the Sussexes every way they could. And it didn't stop when they left. If anything, it only got worse because the idea that the palace can say, we don't want anyone taking photos, we don't want anyone using paparazzi videos. And so the tabloids just don't. But if they can get anything like that to use against the Sussexes, the palace won't say anything, either before they left or after they left. It seems as though it was encouraged ever since the Oceania tour. I'm sorry, is that right? The Oceania tour? Yeah, anyway, ever since they came back from Fiji, Australia, and all of that, it has been from bad to worse. It seems as though everyone had their marching orders to tear down the Sussexes no matter what. They even recruited the talents of Dan Wooten, who originally didn't talk about the Royals. He wasn't much of a royal reporter. But because of his association with the Sun, and we all know Rupert Murdoch doesn't like the fact that Harry has so much of the tabloid media about to crap their pants over, the phone hacking and such. That was all the more reason to go after them, which continues to this very day. Positive story about Kate, negative story about Meghan. Positive story about William, negative story about Meghan. And occasionally a negative story about Harry. We all know what the game is and who's orchestrating these things. They recruited the miserable Markle family, Thomas Sr., Thomas Jr., Scamantha. They used every tool and device that they could come up with to try to ruin, to try to destroy the Sussexes. And it hasn't worked because all it took was a couple of books, a docuseries, an interview, and their poll numbers are in the crapper. Their poll numbers are in the crapper. Not to mention when Tweedledee and Tweedledum decided that they were going to show Harry and Meghan 3 snaps how it's done by going on that tour of the Caribbean where they pretty much lost half the Commonwealth. That was the worst disaster. I don't care what does or does not happen. Nothing, I think, could be possibly worse than that tour of the Caribbean, where actually, let me take that back, because that tour of the Caribbean made the Cambridges the laughing stock of humanity. Only for this thing with Kate and Charles and whatever illnesses they have, all of a sudden, where's Kitty? Hello, Kitty. Where's Kitty? Made her the laughing stock of humanity, which is why they had to put her on that bench, because people were openly mocking not just Kate, but the entire institution again. So they have had a rough time of it. They have had a rough time of it. And in the most eloquent way possible. It seems as though that the same negativity that they're pushing out there has been coming back to them tenfold. It is incredible. I still cannot believe the run of bad luck that that family is having. I'm just shocked. I cannot believe the run of bad luck that they have been having. But it's been happening. Black Queen says, "Good news. My second daughter have been selected to become a commissioned officer in the U.S. Army. She'll live. What is that? For what was that? Something boot camp in leave. She'll leave for boot camp in August, then to officer cadet school, then to what is that? Um, Something school. Prayers for her. Thanks. Well, thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you for sharing that with us. And as far as I'm concerned, it sounds like like a round of celebration is needed. Let's see. How shall we do this? Um, let's go with this one. Hello, Ivy here. Hello, Ivy. Girl, the Duchess of Sussex won. Meet me at the Royal Sussex party. Nelly's gonna be there. All right, Ivy out. You know what? I have not come down from my high yet. As you know, All right, congratulations, Susie Q and Black Queen. You all must be very, very proud, and I'm very happy for everyone. So that is so, so cool. Okay, and Lex says, notice how the tabloids always have to Photoshop to bridge the gap in Will and Kate's relationship for them to look close, whereas they try to divide Harry and Meghan. Pathetic. Here, here. Like the whole orchestrated, oh, there's trouble in the Sussexes marriage thing that they had going on, right? And they'd find these miserable photos of Harry. They'd find it's a couple of photos of Meghan that they use. Those are the ones that they just throw right into the magazine article for whatever to help convince people that there's something terrible that's going on. The thing is, Will and Kate, they need as much photo enhancement. They need more trickery than anyone else I can think of in that institution to make them seem like they're into each other. Kate had that one turn of the head where she grinned, and that is the photo du jour for the what was supposed to be Charles III's birthday. But yeah, they have their little games and hijinks they pull to try to convey one thing for one couple and another thing for the other couple. But again, it always backfires. You know what, guys? I wasn't sure how I was going to share this with you all, but I guess I'll do it tomorrow because I need to work on it. But it is a video of Willie Leaks and Kate. Now, I don't think I can share the video, but the comments I will share. The comments I will share. These are not squatties. that are making these comments. These are just people, and in some cases, people that support the royal family. They took a good look at William walking with Kate in the train station, pretending like they don't own an 8 million pound helicopter. And William, you know how he has that kind of an attitude that you're wasting his time, where he talks fast, he moves fast. Well, he did that. And there's poor Kate in stilettos, struggling to keep up and carrying this bag. I don't know what was in the bag, but it seemed very heavy. And the people that made comments for that video over and over and over again, they were questioning why William doesn't carry the bag, why William has to be so rude. He doesn't love her. I mean, seriously, these were not squatties. These are, but, and that's the thing. No matter what they say in the tabloids, look at how easy it was to convince people, not to convince people, but look how easily people were convinced through their own research that William had done something to Kate. They try to put it off on the Sussex squad that we're the troublemakers, but the demand for proof of life included even George Calloway and quite a few other people. It was disturbing. It was disturbing for so many people that one of the most photographed people in the world suddenly disappears. Gone without a trace. Just a bunch of conflicting stories. Thank you again, Legs. And that is why they work so hard to try and make things seem like they're teetering on the verge of collapse in Montecito, where, by the way, there are no leaks in Montecito, as evident by the fact that the Sussexes have been quiet for quite some time and we hadn't a clue what's going on. And we're not going to know anything until they're ready for us to know. And people said, oh, why would they go to California? There's so much paparazzi there. How do you have privacy in California? You know how you have privacy? You're not in Kensington Palace. You're not in London, right? That's how you have privacy. You're not on the Great Windsor Estate. That's how you have privacy. You get away from that family and all of their henchmen, and then you have privacy. You stay away. You hire your own people instead of hiring the likes of Jason Knopf or Christian Jones. That's how you have your privacy. You just get away from that. Works every time. Been working like a charm for how many years now? And they're doing just fine. Perfection. Ooh, really? Arrogant and what else? Self-absorbed? Wow. Interesting. Let me continue with this. I forgot where I left off. One insider told the Daily Beast that the working assumption is the younger two children will get on and do their own thing. They will be encouraged not to not become working royals. William and Kate's office did not respond to a request for comment on the bombshell claims made by insider, a former Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace staffer who keeps in contact with former colleagues. They were speaking after a report in the Daily Mail said William not only agreed with his father, King Charles, drive to slim down the monarchy, but would go even further. The report cited a friend as saying when the older members of the family retire, William won't be inviting anyone else to become working royals. It remains to be seen if he will even want his two younger children to be working royals. You know what? I believe this. I believe this. And I also believe that the only reason why this is a thing is to keep up with the Sussexes. I really do believe that. William would cut off his own nose to spite his face. In the aftermath of the Queen's death and his father's ascension to the throne, through sickness and illness and whatever else, horses kicks to the head and everything, I do believe that he has absolutely no intention of expanding one bit past George. I can believe that. I believe there's going to be a minimal amount of people working, or should I say, taking attention away from him. He's about stupid enough to do that because he's in desperate need of that type of attention. I find it really easy to believe this. A friend of the couple who spoke, the source said the report is absolutely true. The option is there. And see, to make this work, they need to work on it right now. That's why it's being discussed, because it is a working process to make this exactly what William is expecting it to be. Just like Charles, how many times have you heard them say Beatrice and Eugenie will pick up the slack? I have, I don't know, maybe a dozen headlines over a long period of time in my little, cachet, saying that, in my little receipt box, saying just that thing. And not one time has Charles ever invited them to come back for anything. William is the one who had them go to the picnic, and I'm sorry, for the garden party, and that was only because the Spencers was at the St. Paul's for Invictus. That was it. They had nothing to do but show up. And for the record, Zara and that what's his name, Mike Tyndall, they were there too. Peter Phillips. It was all for show. It was all for show. I'm sure there was no compensation involved. A friend of the couple who spoke to the Daily Beast concurred with the report in the Mail, saying it is no secret that William has been devastated by the destruction of his relationship with Harry. Yeah, right. Although he absolutely puts the blame on Meghan and Harry, he does, of course, also appreciate that the whole system where one of your kids is less important than the other due to an accident of birth had a massive part to play in what happened and how it happened. Lie. He doesn't believe that. I don't for 1 minute believe that William will accept in any way, form, or fashion that his role is an accident, just like Charles would never accept that it's like it's inevitable. They were meant to be the firstborn, and they were meant to be cray cray. There's an entirely reasonable argument to be made that if you are born into the royal family, the logical thing to do is to leave it. The same logic applies to your kids. He doesn't want to put them through the human mincer that is going to cause everyone misery. Didn't William say that Harry's warning about this continuing into the next generation? Didn't William say that that was none of Harry's business? That he will worry about his own kids? He and Catherine adore the children, and their whole lives are about the children. I think they want to find a practical solution to spare problem that has bedeviled the family for generations. This is way too much intelligent insight to have come from William. This is far too intelligent. It is too logical to have come from William. This is the thoughts of someone else. I don't believe that came from William. He's not that bright. He's not that self-reflecting. So if you take a look there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I believe there were 14 people on the balcony compared to the Queen, who her last, yeah, well, maybe the second to last. Well, I forget which one it was, but I recall that at least 2 years before she died, there were 44 members of the family on the balcony. Hello, Barbara Richardson. Esmeralda Dillon, thank you so much for being here. So, okay. Now, yesterday, I spoke about those raw turkey wings, those raw turkey legs being exposed, much to the dismay of Queen Elizabeth II. And these fell in my lap. Thank you so much, Muriel, for sharing these. Unfortunately, I didn't see them yesterday, but just to, I guess, add to what was discussed yesterday. Oh, I didn't do that right. So, as a continuation, let us go back and take a quick look at what was said yesterday about how disrespectful and how disappointing I felt the display with the Korean ambassador was. You know, I think for the sake of the institution, it's just as well that they don't have Kate spoiling things. This was so out of hand last time when they had the Korean, what was it, president, prime minister, and Kate had this very, very, I would say, disgusting display. That this made absolutely no sense. And what gets me is that they make such a point to try and expose Meghan as being the one who's vulgar. Meghan is the one who works on the yacht. Even though it is well documented in the Daily Mail who the yacht girl is. That is something that has been conjured up by the derangers to try to hurt Meghan's reputation. Meghan wasn't the one sitting around for 10 years waiting for a question, right? And then didn't wait another 10 years to come up with a question, to come up with 5 questions about the early years or whatever that shaping us stuff is. That was the other Duchess. Or dare I say the other white meat. I'm sorry. These fleshy photos, it just popped out of my mouth. But yes, the other white meat. Anyway. So, as I was saying, this was celebrated. I hate the contradiction. This was celebrated because it was the English Rose who decided to put on this very tasteless display for the South Korean delegation, right? And it was celebrated. But Meghan bears one shoulder in a gown that's practically the same cut as gowns that was worn by Queen Elizabeth II, Margaret, Princess Margaret, Princess Diana, and of course, Duchess Doolittle, right? Mediocre Middleton. But this, could you imagine any other member of that family stepping out of a vehicle with such a tasteless display? And if you take a look here, it's reverting to type. Duchess of Cambridge receives flowers. What was she thinking? Your husband is destined to be the head of the Church of England. You're in the company of the head of the Church of England, Queen Elizabeth II, and that's what you wore? Looking like some Eastern European flight attendant for some budget airline? And then, of course, out go the short skirts, on with the tiara. Is Kate's regal makeover by order of the Queen. And so Katie Nichol, we all know Katie Nichol. Katie Nichol, Katie Nichol spelled it out. The Queen was well, okay. I'll put it to you like this: the Queen expressed her dismay. Her courtiers spoke to the press. Rather than the Queen doing a direct confrontation with mediocre Middleton, the tabloids did the talking. That's why there was so much reference to it. But again, it actually makes me angry. I am angry. I am very angry. And I'm still angry. The fact that they would try to cheapen the character of the Duchess of Sussex in order to elevate the one who has been the most offensive, who has been not the most offensive, but just offensive. This is offensive to the institution. This is spitting in the eye of the institution, and it was celebrated. But remember, it's not about race. It's never about race, is it? And there's the Queen, disgusted. Absolutely disgusted. And I think nothing was worse than watching Kate step out of the state Bentley. Stepping out of the state Bentley, and every tiptoe out of the state Bentley, her skirt went up. She sits down, her skirt goes up. And you could tell the Queen was not happy. And then, of course, the big spin is that the Queen always knew Kate was the one. No, she didn't. She didn't like Kate, and she didn't like Camilla. She didn't like either one of them. She was stuck with them. Nothing she could do about it. And to be very practical about it, what can you do? They made their choices. The people of the United Kingdom is stuck with them. The Queen was not happy. She was disgusted. It was absolutely no reason whatsoever to prance around wearing those short skirts. None. So by the time they had dinner for the Korean state visit, they stuck her behind a candelabra. Remember how they made so much fun of Meghan? Oh, the feather, the candelabra, the column. Well, this is how you know you're out of favor. It wasn't long after this, then Kate disappeared. She is out of favor with that institution. Completely out of favor with that institution. And yes, the institution may not be so popular these days, but they are willing to take their chances without Kate Middleton. They don't miss her that much. Trust me, they don't. They have moved on. They have to pretend otherwise, but basically they've moved on. Camilla's running this here. Camilla's the pretty girl now. They don't need her. They don't need her. All they need to do is invoke her name and perhaps have her come out about every 6 months. And that's that. That's what William wanted for a long time, is to be left alone. And now he is the single dad. And now she can twirl and kick and spin and do whatever it takes to lift and elevate her clothing to her heart's content. But I tell you, the whole thing just, I keep thinking poultry, 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 raw poultry, salmonella dripping poultry. I mean, you can't unsee it, can you? Can you unsee it? I can't. I mean, you close your eyes, it's still there. Poultry, raw poultry. Every time I go through the supermarket, I keep thinking about Kate stepping out of the car. I just keep seeing Kate stepping out of the state Bentley. I cannot unsee it. But remember, this was room for celebration. They celebrated this. It was room for celebration because Kate flashed her legs to the Korean delegation, to the head of state of not only Korea, but to the United Kingdom. Charles wasn't happy. Camilla wasn't thrilled. And we all know William sat in the state Bentley and refused to look at her. So much attention-seeking behavior. They're just as well off without her. Really. They're just as they'll do just fine without her. Now that we know everything is okay, we can move on. Whatever little stunts that Carol Middleton had planned for the future, it doesn't make a difference now. It really doesn't make a difference. But I tell you, it's a bitter taste in my mouth how disrespectful they have been to Meghan, and they allow these silly games from someone who, no matter what is said or done, everything is about her looks. It's nothing that she's done spectacular. The whole early years is a farce. I'm glad she's okay. I'm glad she's okay. I'm glad. I mean, from what we could see at the Troop and the Color, she looks fine to me. No hair loss. If anything, it looks like there's been, some type of intervention for her appearance. Yeah, she looks amazing. I said it. I said she looks beautiful. She looks beautiful. I've never seen her look so good. I did say it. So that was my honest feelings about the whole thing. I'm glad she's okay, and she looks amazing. Doesn't look like anybody who's been suffering for 6 months. So much for the big news for 2024, huh? So much for that big news for 2024. And just like with with Megan at the school. Here's another one of those moments when, I mean, come on. One of the things that you could either admire about Kate, or you can say it is very disturbing, is the steely um, personality that she has. This idea that she was openly weeping, I don't buy it. And the same for Camilla. They're opposite sides of the same coin. And this disgusting, Liz Jones, I've become a Camilla fan because she reminds me of Diana. These people are sick. They are sick. They're absolutely sick. There's no limit to how dirty they're willing to get to try to hijack somebody else's life. No limit. By the way, I saw this photo on the right side. You might remember the guy from the riverboat. Remember the one who threw his hat up in the air like the bat signal? And a couple of people got clobbered by the card chair, little folding chair. uh, I just wanted you all to know he's doing very well. Um, I don't know if he was married before, or I don't know if this has added a little spark to an existing relationship, or what's going on here. But notice how she's pointing at the chair. Yep, Officer Brubman, Officer Brubman, with the bat signal hat. I mean, you gotta love him. You gotta love him. And you know what, guys? I have to say this. One of the things that I thought was so incredible about that brawl by the riverboat is the fact that it was a fair fight. No one was unalived. No one was, in a coma somewhere. And one of the things that impressed me was how many white people that said they got exactly what they had coming. Those guys were drunk and they wouldn't move their boat so that this whole passenger tour ferry boat could dock, this riverboat could dock. And then they decided that they would gang up on the security officer, or whatever his position is there. But, I think he was security. They decided to gang up on him. And well, anyway, it almost seemed like some kind of a scene from an old Western or something, but it was fair and nobody got hurt too bad. And that's, you know, if there just had to be something, thank goodness for that. I don't think anybody's still in jail or anything like that. It happened, it's over, and it didn't cause a big rift in the community, which I'm glad for that, because there's some very sick people in this country that are hoping and wishing for some big race war or something like that. And I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Even though we don't always get along with each other, we're kind of used to each other. You know what I'm saying? We're kind of used to each other. And that's the way it has been since for a long time. There's always been some really bad moments like Tulsa or Rosewood and those types of things. There were a lot of, deadly riots back in the 19 teens and 20s and such. But um, for the most part, we know how to stay out of each other's way. A lot of times we have to work together. I've worked with people from every corner of this earth, whether it was Vietnam or Pakistan, I've worked with some of everybody. Poland. So, and that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. I mean, we're all on this ride together, and like it or not, we all got to tolerate each other. So, okay, I found this Kate's tricky year: how being broody, turning 35, and the danger of being overshadowed by Harry's charismatic girlfriend could prove testing for Duchess in 2017. Wow, that didn't age well, did it? Or maybe it did age well. I guess it depends on how you feel about it. The Duke and Duchess could be moved to London after being in Norfolk. Prince William's East Anglian Air Ambulance Service work could end in March. The Duchess, who is turning 35 this year, is also rumored to want a third child. Meghan Markle could also be a threat to Meghan due to her philanthropic efforts. Now, even 2017, when people knew that Harry and Meghan were dating, she was already known for being a philanthropist and a humanitarian, right? It's almost as though acting was to supplement loftier ideas about being in service to humanity, right? And they knew that that was going to be a thing. And so I'm going to say that even as far back as 2017, what is this, January 2017, I'm going to say as far back as January 2017, they were working, they were doing oppositional research to figure out how to deal with a woman like Meghan overshadowing mediocre Middleton. They were thinking about it then. I am convinced, I am convinced that they were already trying to put the whammy. I am sure of that. I mean, I hate to sound crass, but they know a real woman when they see one. A lady, a woman of substance. And it scared them. They were terrified. January 2017, they were already recognizing Meghan as a potential threat to the mediocre Middleton way of life. Speaking of mediocre, take a look there. The Great Tiara War. Yes, somebody had the nerves to lend the Lotus Tiara to Ford Fiesta, who is sitting there looking like a big sloppy mess. Po thing, that dress don't fit her for nothing. That big sloppy mess of a dress that she got on don't fit her like anything. Why does she even bother? Why even bother? That's what I'm wondering. Why? Why even bother? Why go through all the trouble? Why? Because whatever you put on is going to look like a sloppy mess. Nothing is right. It never is. Connie Balmer! Hey, Connie Balmer. I shouldn't say nothing is ever right. Connie's here, so everything is right. Okay. Ah, that is so much better. I washed my favorite t-shirt, you know, the one that I lounge about in all day. Well, I just put it back on, fresh out the dryer. God, that feels good. It's just the right blend of cotton. Okay. Uh so about Ford Fiesta. Raffaella Bertoni, thank you so much for being here. Okay. You know what? I gotta open up a second screen here so I can see what you all are seeing. Because you know what? On the what do they call this? On the what is it called? StreamYard. On the StreamYard, the emojis like for um some things, it'll just say heart, flower, this, that. It don't show you what the emojis are. Only certain emojis come through. Everything else, you have to look at it on a different screen. Mystic Toxin, thank you so much for being here. Always appreciate you having you here. All right. So, the Great Tiara War, as you can see on the left side, pretty much that tiara has been the domain of mediocre Middleton. But somebody thought it wise to lend it out to Frumpy Ford Fiesta. Frumpy Ford Fiesta wearing the Lotus Tiara. Now, the tiara, of course, has a lot of, you know, Asian influence. You can see the fan like scallop shape there. You can see the arches over those like lotus. Well, actually, it's lotus flowers, like half lotus flowers, and you can see it there. So it is a beautiful tiara. I like the other one that Ford Fiesta is wearing. I don't know if that's a aqua whatever stone that whatever that is, but that one's pretty nice. That one's kind of art deco. But it's just like it's a waste of time. Once she puts it on, that just kills it. Whatever she puts on, that just kills it. It does. It just kills it. It could start off such an interesting piece, and then she puts it on, and it just goes straight to hell. Hell in a handbasket. It's really sad. No wonder she's always giving people the evil eye. Now, right here, by Queen Camilla, we know who holds deeds and versus key. Yeah, deed versus key. I think that's right. But anyway, they're responding to Rebecca English, the second most senior female royal present, the Duchess of Edinburgh, was lent the lotus flower tiara and diamond necklace by Queen Camilla and wore them with a dress by Susanna. Are they talking about Susanna from Good Morning Britain? Because that would explain everything. Because Susanna on Good Morning Britain, she ain't hitting on nothing either when it comes to fashion. So if she's the one who designed that for Ford Fiesta, it's like the blind leading the blind. One big sloppy mess to the other. Oh, I'm feeling shady today. So, who the Frappuccino is Camilla to loan Kate's jewelry to someone else? And most importantly, who gave her the right over the royal vault? Well, she is the queen consort, but Charles said just call her the queen. If you ask me, I believe that Charles and Camilla, in some regards, are co equals in the household, especially when it comes to making decisions. Now, the proper context is to say that Charles loaned the um, tiara to Lotus Flower tiara to Ford Fiesta. not Camilla. Those jewels are the property of the sovereign. And last I checked, Camilla is not the sovereign. I'm not even sure she's human, let alone a sovereign. So that's not her place to loan anything. The romantic lady says, shouldn't it be the by the king? I don't remember Philip loaning jewelry. Hello. Hello. So there you go. And then, of course, the office of Indy, whoever the heck that is, they just put an emoji with the mouth zipped up. They didn't even want to add anything to it. They'd rather keep their mouths shut. The nerves, that's all I can say is the nerves. So that's Rebecca English. Rebecca English is the mouthpiece for the palace. And if it comes from Rebecca English, it may not be true, but it is the position of the royal family. Yep. Rebecca English is like Camilla's little footstool. She's like Camilla's ottoman. Camilla sits back in the chair and put her feet up, and she is right there beneath her. Zandy Sussex says the girlies are fighting over tiaras because how dare Queen Cams loan Sophie the Lotus tiara that's been previously worn by Saint Catherine. I'm telling you, didn't I just tell you all they don't need her? They don't need her. This idea that Catherine is the savior of the royal family, I'm almost afraid to say what I'm thinking. Not because, well, let me see, how do I put this? Not because I'm afraid I'm going to get in trouble or anything. I'm just afraid it might be true. And that is like an actress of the silver screen. You know, they love to say that Megan was aging out of the system. And that's a cruel reality in Hollywood. But I think it also may be a very cruel reality in the royal family that perhaps members of the family is aging out of the system. Maybe William just got tired of her. I don't know. And it is a factor. It is a factor that Kate has been fighting. Kate has been fighting time, the ravages of time. She's been fighting it. There is clear evidence that there has been a battle. There is clear evidence that there has been a battle going on um, for the very youthful glow needed at this time in the royal family. And I'm afraid somebody's light has been a bit dim lately. And maybe that's why they needed that 6 months away from everything and everybody to try to put things in order. It would make a lot of sense, doesn't it? It's not to say that there was no illness present, but I mean, if you're going to take the time, you might as well do something, right? So, not exactly Benjamin Buttons, is she? Y'all, I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I'm just terrible tonight. Yeah. Okay. So unusual for two royal ladies to use the same tiaras. Catherine has worn this one on more than one occasion, and that's true. That is true. They would not dare have done that while the queen was alive two ladies in the same household sharing the same jewels. They have a vast array of jewels. And yet, of all people, they let Ford Fiesta wear the lotus flower tiara. I don't think that was just by chance. I think that was deliberate. They're sending somebody a message. Why should it be exclusive to Kate? Because that's the way it is. Because it was usually done like this in the whatever it cuts off to. And then over here, why would this be the last minute switch when the Duchess of Edinburgh has been working steadily as the king's trusted lieutenant since his reign began, and Kate only showed up to the king's, that thing, the troop in the colors. And then down there it says the lotus flower tiara is beautiful. Something couldn't something. It cuts off. But Sophie have been lent a tiara not so closely associated with the Princess of Wales and Princess Margaret. The base color needs changing to match her hair too, whatever that means. Had the Princess of Wales attended, I'm sure. Well, I guess they're going to say, I'm sure she would have wore it. But whatever the case may be, this is unusual. They are sending somebody a message. They really are. They are sending someone a message. Connie Balmer, I love the sticker that you're using, the one with Harry and Meghan and the blue background. I'm like, that's pretty. I forgot that was one of them. What's that, Adrian Burrow? I'm so sorry. I'm missing all of the comments right now. Let me see here. Makes plenty of sense. Absolutely right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Megan only wore the tiara one time. I was like thinking, but I know the Sussexes are going a completely different direction from the traditional role as members of that family. But I tell you, if there was ever an occasion where a tiara would be, allowed or in order, or appropriate, and Megan was to show up with a tiara that was gifted to her by her husband, they would, oh, I'm telling you, they will go ballistic. They will have a fit because whatever tiara that she wears, it doesn't matter what it looks like. The idea that she is conducting herself as the royal princess that she is, they would have a fit about that. They would have a fit. They will go ballistic if Megan ever showed up somewhere wearing a tiara. Now, I personally don't think that's Megan's style, and I think it would be very unlikely unless she was gifted a tiara, then she would probably wear it. But maybe not. Maybe she just passed it on to Lilibet Diana. Who knows? But wouldn't it be a real interesting turn of events if we found out that Harry, who designed the wedding ring, designed a tiara very similar to the wedding ring? That would be very interesting. And my shadier side is like, Lord, please let it happen. I'm just messy like that. Oh, they would have a fit. So there's Ford Fiesta in that frumpy green dress. Why does she even bother? I don't know why she even bothers. I mean, I hate to sound like what's her name? Um, oh gosh, Devil Wears Prada. Was it Amanda Priestley? Gosh, what was the name that she used? Meryl Streep. I cannot remember the name. Okay. Let me see. Nikki says, I'm not sure, but in my opinion, William is not a good man. Kate is never innocent. She looks like William's punching bag and tries to get attention from someone. Great observation. Thank you for sharing that. She is attention seeking. Yes, I know. She never got a chance to go to a state dinner. She was on maternity leave. Miranda, thank you so much. Miranda Priestley's office. Oh, okay. So it was never worn by the queen, and the queen mother stopped wearing it before. And see, that just goes to show the tradition is a thing. The tradition is that the tiara that the female member of the family, whatever tiara is associated with that particular woman in the family, that's how it remains. Now, some of the aristo families, like for instance, the um, the Principality of Liechtenstein, the uh, the women in the family, they all share that tiara on their wedding days. I don't know if they ever wear it after that, but the same with some of the other families. They have that one tiara. So, oh, okay, it's gorgeous with dark hair. Yeah, I'm surprised though. I'm really surprised. And see, this is the other tiara, and I think that that tiara would have been perfect for what she's wearing. This is yet another green dress. I don't think green is her color, but she just keeps, trying it. But I don't think green is really her color. I don't know what her color is. I really think she ought to just stay home. Maybe that's why she wears all those floral dresses, is because she don't know what her color is either. Um, but I love this photo because it captures poor Sophie looking at the mirror. Oh, actually, you catch her looking in the distance and looking very sad. Well, what she was looking at on the left there, you can see she was looking at Kate. She was looking at Kate, someone who she'd have to walk behind for the rest of her life. And of course, she'd have to curtsy to her and all that kind of stuff. So it's got to be kind of sad for her, real sad. She barely became a duchess. Now, what is going on with the back of that dress? What is going on with the back of that dress? Can you tell me? Is that supposed to look like that? I don't know what's going on here. What is going on with the back of that dress? Does anybody know? Let's take a look at it. Okay, so there is the dress from the front, and it doesn't seem to fit very well. And then this is it from the back. What is going on with that dress? I don't understand. They're not poor. Didn't she bother to get it fitted before the night? Or was she so busy scheming to get that tiara that she couldn't go back for another fitting? Is that what happened? Is that what had happened? Ah, but you know what? It does explain one thing. You know what? It does explain something. Woo! Oh, Willie, you're so witty. One more word and I'll forget myself. Woo! Woo! Oh, please stop it. Woo! Well, that explains all of that purring and pooching and all that other stuff she was doing. That explains it. Maybe that's what it was about. All of that. Woo! Is that a order of the garter in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me? Woo! Oh, William, you're so witty and funny. So maybe that's what it was about. She was trying to get that tiara. She was trying to figure out how could I get permission to wear that tiara. I think it's all part of a greater plan. Yeah, that green, I don't think green is her color. I really don't think it's her color. And also, I would advise that she goes back for a second fitting because that looks monstrous. It looks a hot mess. Let me see. Shelley LaFleur, very poor taste she has. Here, 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 here. I just, it seems like, I mean, does that hurt? Is it uncomfortable? Thank you so much for the super chat, by the way. Look, what is going on there? It seems as though I just, that would just, Black Queen, leave that lorry driver alone. Don't you know she got a cross country? She got to take some supplies up to Balmoral. She got to drive the lorry up to Balmoral tomorrow. So leave her alone. She's got some driving ahead of her with that unfortunate stockiness of hers. Uh, I'm so sorry. I am particularly bad tonight. I got to stop. Oh, I got to stop. Why am I so shady? Why? I'm not usually this shady, but they have gotten on my last nerve. And what can I say? The claws are out. But woo! Woo! Oh, you're so witty. Oh, one more word, I'll forget myself. Oh, by the way, can I wear the lotus flower tiara? Woo! Oh. I don't get the hype over them, and any rich person have one made with borrowed jewels or paid for. Very true, TB. Oh, okay. Bad built, bleach blonde, bad built, butch body. Bleach blonde, bad built, butch body. I wonder if they had a common ancestor. And of course, I think I know who's responsible for this monstrosity. You know why this happened, right? There is somebody working a root on Ford Fiesta. There's someone who has, I guess, gotten out her recipe book, has gotten out her secret potion. There's somebody casting a spell and ruining the evening for Ford Fiesta. I say Kate Middleton is not so worse for wear as we thought. She's somewhere creating a potion. She's somewhere with her book of spells doing something to sabotage um, Sophie's big night out with that lotus flower tiara. Yeah, that's what she's doing. So I wonder if there was some old lady that I guess maybe Sophie thought the old lady worked for the royal family, not realizing that it was actually Kate Middleton. And the old lady, instead of giving her a red apple, she gave her the lotus flower tiara. And once she put that tiara on, pow, her dress just all of a sudden went crazy and just wouldn't fit right for nothing. That's what it was. Kate is putting a spell on her. uh Marchioness of Photoshop. I don't know if I shared this with you guys. Kate Middleton has proved that no one is ugly, just poor. Thank you, taxpayers, for this transformation. Uh, that is not very politically correct, but I think it's so funny. Yeah. But as you can see, sometimes Kate looks like that, and then sometimes she looks like that. But mirror, mirror on the wall, whose lotus flower tiara is going to the ball? And next thing you know, poor Ford Fiesta's dress looked like a big mess. It's not her fault. Yes, that's right. She put some juju on the tiara. Y'all, we gotta stop now. Y'all know that that the what you call it, the derangers be complaining and stuff. So um Megan's Jammin says, speaking of shady, when I heard Afro Annie was kicked by a horse, I thought, what is Camilla doing over? What is Camilla doing over at Anne's house? That's a good question. That is a good question. Thank you so much for the super chat. That is a very good question. What was she doing over there? Andrea Dawkins says, I read that Megan was supposed to wear the Spencer tiara on her wedding to go with the scallop pattern of the veil. Supposedly, William at something all fit and prevented her. So sad. It was well suited. Yeah, I mean, you can. I think I actually shared those photos before where you can see that the shapes that were sewn or weaved into the veil were obviously meant for the Spencer tiara. It's unfortunate. So I guess the moral of the story is it's like the big fish eats the little fish, or at least they try. So there's Camilla, speaking of Juju, working the root. There's Camilla sizing up her next prey. And of course, Megan got out of there before they could do much more to her. She hurried up and got out of there. But there's Camilla giving little George the look. There she is, pretending like she's coughing up some of that nicotine from her youth. But the truth is, she's studying Megan, trying to put some kind of spell on her or something. And then, of course, when you look really closely, I mean, you could just see the shade. You could see the shade. The camera doesn't lie. I mean, in all the years of this institution, you've never seen anybody just sit back and study someone with the intensity of Camilla's gaze ever. And then, of course, Kate knows what's going on. Now, it has been alleged, listen to me closely now. It has been alleged that Willie wants to rid himself of a particular situation. And the only person who has the experience to, shall we say, change the course of events, to change the course of history, to shape history in their own image. The only one who has that kind of experience is Camilla. Somebody who shouldn't be there is there. And so if there's somebody else that is going to be there that shouldn't be there, and you need help getting rid of a, shall we say, burden, then the obvious choice is to ally yourself um, with Camilla. And that seems to be what's happening. I think Camilla and Willie are very close, which is absolutely disturbing. But I think they're very close. And Kate does not figure into that circle. She's not a part of that circle of trust. She's on the outside looking in. I mean, think about it. Kate's not in the Order of the Garter, is she? That secret, chivalrous organization. She's not part of it. She's on the outside of it. Harry's on the outside of it. But the people that's on the inside, everything seems to go their way, doesn't it? So, Kate, you ain't out of trouble yet, girl. You in danger, girl. And of course, there's the famous glance of from Harry on their wedding day. You can see that Willie has his head down, doesn't have enough courage to see this disaster unfolding. And of course, Harry, already a soldier, even before he was, enlisted, already a soldier, he is taking a measure of things, and he can see the trouble that is brewing. And that's why Camilla don't like him, because Harry seems to understand a lot better than Willie that you don't play with a snake. And of course, Ford Fiesta, I still haven't figured this out yet. What was her thoughts in this moment? Why she, not just this moment, but several moments where she seemed to be fixated with Megan at the Commonwealth, the funeral, the second service that they had. She just couldn't stop staring. What was that about? What was that supposed to do? Jealous much? I don't know. I don't know. At least Kate, at least Kate had enough sense to look forward, right? Kate pretends to not care, although we know from the prayer service that they had at the St. Paul's when she quickly looked over her shoulder to see Harry and Meghan. Remember that? So we know that she's always thinking and looking and fixated with them, but she has enough sense to pretend otherwise. But not Ford Fiesta. Not Ford Fiesta. And I promise you, um, if Charlotte is anything that I think she'll be in the future, she ain't gonna forget that moment. She is not gonna forget that moment. At least I hope not. Don't know what is to come of it, but I don't think she'll forget that moment. All I can say is keep an eye on Charlotte. Keep an eye on her. Because I think she has an old soul. As they say, I think she has an old soul. And I do mean that as a compliment. And of course, when she ain't watching Camilla, We all know that she is probably keeping her eye on the Marchioness of Cholmondeley, or as Stephen Colbert would say, the marching band of Camondeley. Yeah. Everybody's got an eye on somebody. How lucky can one guy get? Wait, no. How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? I haven't been able to stop thinking about this song. How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? So she was alone and walking around the estate, wandering around the estate. Now, was she wandering before or after the blow to the head? That is the question. And I don't know. I guess she seems to be very curious in some situations. She's even wearing a horse on her lapel. You see that? Yeah. I think, like they say, keep your head on the swivel. Keep your head on the swivel. And Disney has not only created a image that reminds us of Kate Middleton, but of course, there's this one that definitely is channeling Afro Annie. So, with that, you guys, I think we are done. Let me see. Yes, we are done. Thank you all so much. I said about an hour, and it's been like an hour and 40 minutes, but my bad. I have had a wonderful time tonight being shady. I think it suits me. It helps me cope with what I'm feeling. It is a cool picture. I guess this picture will be the last word for the day. Keep your head up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Keep your head up. But yeah, I'm feeling particularly shady tonight. But yeah, we're done. We are done. Thank you all so much. Thank you to the Mod Squad for keeping this the safe space that it is. And tomorrow, I gotta get the slides together. I keep forgetting to do that. But the gala that they're having, I gotta make sure I get the information right about that, so I can share with you all about the gala that is taking place for the Sussex squad. Um, and the sooner you book, the better off you'll be. So, if you're planning to go to the gala, so far, I have not committed, but doesn't mean that you all can't have a good time. If you're planning to go to the gala, I'll make sure that I get that information for you. It should be really nice. And gosh, I got a feeling that you're going to meet some of your favorite content creators. So that's a good reason to go. Um, but yeah, so let me make sure I get the information accurate. So far, I can't really commit because I have some obligations with family coming up, and I just don't know if I will be able to go. But I bet you it's going to be fun. So whenever you see our queens, it is time to go, and y'all know what that means. Oh, thank you so much, Cookies and Cream. Please, 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 everyone, please continue to pray for the Sussexes, each other, and the world. Pray for all those who are sick and bereaved. Very good. Thank you so much for that. All right. And congratulations to all the graduates. I believe it is New York, New York. A city so big they named it twice. New York, New York. But yeah, I want to make sure I get it accurate and I present it to you um, properly. So I will definitely put that together. Got to put the slide together so I can do it right. How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Mm-hmm. Okay, Harry and Meghan supporters, September 14th, 2024, New York City. Join the what is that? The carpet studded celebration? Is that carpet? Okay. Before 40 countdown, a milestone celebration. Walk the carpet, star studded black tie gala. The young boy to man, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, before 40, accomplishment, success, New York City, dressed to impress, September 14th. Now that's Harry's birthday, right? September 14th. Okay. But yeah, I have the information here and I will create some slides and I will share that with you. So, okay. Okay. So yeah, just give me a chance to do that. Hopefully I won't forget to do that tomorrow. Let me see. Lisette Zog says Camilla is three witch who's witching watching. I'm sorry, no, V not three. V is the witch who is witching and watching. Oh man. She is that is one determined individual. She is just oh, by the way, thank you so much for the super chat. She is shady beyond belief. What she doesn't have in terms of the obvious, she definitely makes up for it with her determination. I just don't think most people have I think most people their conscience is too strong to behave in such a way. But that is a terrible person, terrible. And it's so offensive that the media is trying to gaslight us to believe otherwise. And that's what it is gaslighting. They do everything they can to try to associate her with Princess Diana in a way that they want you to believe that you don't really need Diana because I'm here. I'm the logical accessory for Charles. We were meant to be. All of that stuff that they were saying, like they are the romance of the ages. They were destined to be they tried to sell them like they were Danny and Sandy from Greece or something like that. They tried to sell it like that, like they were just um, inevitable instead of a bunch of scheming and conniving. And I'm pretty sure that they have an understanding. Some relationships are just like that. They have an understanding. I don't think what they have is romantic. I think what they have is um well, for Charles, I think he's getting revenge against his parents. I really think he doesn't have much affection for his parents. I just don't. I think all that posturing that he did, he wasn't even with his mother um, the day before she took a turn for the worse. I mean, everybody in the world could see the queen is dying, and he's setting up for an interview with NBC television. Everybody could see the queen is dying, and he's with what's her name? Victoria Newton, whatever. Yeah, you can see the queen is dying. She's literally turning colors. And they had to send for him. They didn't have to send for his sister, but they had to send for him. That's how much he loved his mother. And as for his father, forget it. He's afraid of his father. So I can understand why Charles is doing the things that he's, responsible for. And as for Camilla, who has been taunted, laughed at, dismissed, I guess having sacrificed so much of her dignity to maintain this farce with Charles, she just needs to make sense out of it. And on the way to making sense out of it, she's going to make sure that her children are set up very nicely. But I don't think that Charles or Camilla have any affection for Harry or William. I think that their association with Diana, you can't help but look at them and see Diana. And not just looks, but with Harry is the way he carries himself. With William is the very feminine glances that he gives, and he does kind of look a bit feminine sometimes. Um, so there's that, and I think that it's triggering for Charles and Camilla to be in their company because Diana had such a strong personality. And I think they just really mean to rid themselves of her in every way possible, even rewriting the history of the institution to make sure that Diana is just a little footnote. Yeah. I think it's a revenge thing, Adrian. I think it's a revenge thing. I think it's revenge on, everything and everybody for both of them. I think they're in such agreement with everything that they do. I don't know that Charles is so weak as he is just stupid. He doesn't have a lot of sense. He's going to further erode that institution, and maybe they just don't care. As you can see, he's allowing the Commonwealth to just slip away, and he's not even fighting for it. And likewise, William doesn't care. The only one that I know of, actually, I'm going to say two people that believe in, I would say um, Princess Anne. Princess Anne is going to go whichever way the monarchy goes because she believes in the monarchy. Harry, likewise, believes in the possibilities of the monarchy. Harry, the eternal optimist, uh, believes that the monarchy can be a great platform and a force for good. And they have been failing at it. And I believe that he just decided, okay, well, there's nothing we can do within the institution. So we'll just do what we intend to do outside of the institution. And also, they are incredibly abusive and hateful, and they're trying to destroy my happiness. So we're leaving. But yep, Camilla. Um, I just hope and I pray that when there is a price to be paid for her devious acts, that it will play in HD quality, 4K, uh, you know, film, camera, whatever. I hope we all get a chance to see it. The downfall, because pride. What is that they say? Pride cometh before the fall. Yeah. So all that pride, it's a long way up and it's a very hard fall. And I hope that that is everything that it should be. And not just for her, but for Charlie and for Willie and for Kitty. Because I think they're all dreadful. All of them. Yeah, Adrian, I hope not. I hope that I don't know who would I don't know if it would be Harry or whoever, but there hasn't been enough positive about Diana. That there's no at least in film, which is the way most people would probably learn who Diana was, that are that were not around at that time. Somebody's got to tell the story. Someone has to tell the story, and it needs to be very well done so that it will stand the test of time, because they have worked really hard with Peter Morgan to misrepresent Diana and to misrepresent Harry. But Harry has the best selling nonfiction of all time on his side, but I don't I don't know that there's anything like that for Diana. So somebody's got to do it. And I hope it happens sooner rather than later. And with that, love you guys. I will see you next time. It has been a pleasure as usual. And again, go out and create. Go out and create. Okay? Do something amazing. Do something that is fulfilling. Paper mache, pottery, learn to play an instrument, learn a second language, do something fabulous. Okay. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.